Most of the software that dictates our daily lives, from the applications on our phones to the algorithms sorting our data, is written in text-based programming languages like Python or C++. But if you step inside a manufacturing plant, the software orchestrating miles of robotic assembly lines looks entirely different. These massive physical operations rely on advanced industrial computers called programmable logic controllers, or PLCs. Yet the interface used to program them does not look like modern software at all. This presents a glaring anomaly. Why does heavily capitalized, highly precise modern industrial equipment run on a language that visually mimics a 19th century electrical wiring schematic? The answer isn't found in computer science. To decode how modern industrial software operates, we first have to look at the massive physical hardware it was designed to replace. Long before software existed, factory automation meant hardwiring electrical logic. For decades, the only automatic device most people ever encountered was the elevator. For the user, it provided a simple, intuitive application of automated control. But behind those brass push buttons lay a highly complex web of electromechanical components, strictly tasked with physically routing electrical currents to execute logical commands. Scaling that logic up to an industrial level was a massive undertaking. Factories required entirely separate rooms just to house the sheer volume of wiring and the sprawling wall-to-wall control panels required to make a machine run. These physical systems suffered from severe limitations. Mechanical parts wore down rapidly, electrical contacts burned away over time as the current they switched destroyed the metal, and running thousands of components generated destructive amounts of heat. When computers finally arrived on the factory floor, engineers needed a digital map tailored specifically to emulate and replace the failing physical components of those giant control rooms. At the center of those old legacy systems was a single foundational piece of hardware, the electromechanical relay. A relay is a relatively simple device consisting of two primary elements, an electromagnetic copper wire coil at the base and a set of movable metal contact arms positioned above it. When electricity flows into the coil, it generates a magnetic field. That invisible force physically pulls the metal contact arms downward. This physical movement creates a strict binary result. The metal arms move to either firmly connect a secondary electrical circuit or forcefully break one apart. By using electricity to open or close a secondary circuit, this physical device acts as the exact mechanical equivalent of a true or false Boolean logic gate. The entire visual syntax of what we now call ladder logic was developed to directly mimic this specific coil and contact hardware action on a digital screen. To build and maintain those massive hardwired relay rooms, engineers needed a reliable way to document exactly how hundreds of relays were connected to each other. This diagram establishes a rigid, ladder-like frame. The vertical line on the left represents the continuous electrical power source, or the hot rail. The vertical line on the right acts as the electrical return, or the neutral rail. The code execution behaves exactly like electrical current. The processor evaluates logical paths strictly from left to right, traveling across the horizontal lines, which we call rungs. The PLC processor reads these instructions in a highly deliberate order. It always starts at the top and descends the ladder, evaluating each rung sequentially. Along these rungs, the logic conditions, which represent the physical relay contacts, are placed on the left side. The outputs, representing the physical relay coils, are positioned on the right. Reading a modern ladder logic program is functionally identical to opening up a physical metal cabinet and tracing live electrical voltage down the wires. To replicate the physical relays, the software relies on two main contact types. The first is the normally open contact. It mimics a resting relay that is non-conducting, evaluating as false until an action physically closes it. The opposite is the normally closed contact. By default, it acts as a continuous conductor, evaluating as true, and requires a specific action to break the circuit. We can see how these variables interact by looking at one of the most universal applications in industrial engineering, the basic motor starter circuit. This diagram shows a standard operational setup. For our machine to start, two initial conditions must be met. The machine must be ready to run, and the operator must push the auto start button. Because these elements are placed in series on the rung, they act as an AND logic gate. The system requires both of these normally open contacts to close before the logical flow can pass through and energize the output coil on the right. But this creates an immediate physical problem. A push button is a momentary device. The instant the operator lifts their finger, the start contact opens back up, the logic breaks, and the motor shuts down. The solution is known as a seal-in circuit. By wiring a parallel logic path beneath the start button, we create an OR condition. The software loops the active state of the output coil back into a new normally open contact. Once the motor starts running, this parallel branch closes, maintaining an unbroken bypass loop even after the physical start button is released. To safely break this continuous loop, we insert a normally closed stop button in series with the entire rung. When the operator pushes it, the contact momentarily opens, severing the logic flow, de-energizing the coil, and dropping the parallel loop back to its default state. In ladder logic, complex mechanical behaviors, like forcing a machine to run continuously from a single momentary button press, are solved entirely through the spatial routing of true and false logic paths. Basic on and off states are highly effective, but industrial environments require more than instantaneous logic. The physical world relies on precise delays, mechanical buffers, and strict operational sequencing. To manage these complex time-dependent actions, ladder logic incorporates encapsulated programming units known as function blocks. This diagram features the timer-on delay, or TON block, bridging digital code and the real world. When it receives a true signal, it halts the flow, counts up precisely 500 milliseconds, and only then allows the signal to pass. Function blocks give engineers a way to take highly complex background computing, like precise internal clock timing, and condense it into a single, predictable visual object right on the primary circuit line. A real-world PLC program is rarely just one or two rungs. It operates as an interlocking grid of thousands of sequential rungs, continuously evaluating inputs and outputs every few milliseconds. The visual simplicity of a single logic line scales up to safely command the massive synchronized motion of a heavy industrial assembly floor. Which brings us back to the core question: why rely on a digital drafting schematic from the 19th century instead of standard computer science protocols? The answer is maintenance. When a factory floor stalls out at 3 in the morning, an industrial technician needs to instantly isolate a failed physical sensor or a jammed motor. They do not have the time to parse through thousands of lines of nested text code to find the break. Ladder logic persists because it digitizes the immutable laws of physical cause and effect. It provides an instantly readable, visually fail-safe map of the mechanical world.